Welcome back to F1 Blogs. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the recent and controversial penalties against Max Verstappen following his intense battle with Lando Norris during the Mexican Grand Prix. From Toto Wolff's reaction to the FIA's decision, to the impact of these new interpretations on the future of racing, we'll break down what happened, why it's a big deal, and what we can expect moving forward. If you're an F1 fan, hit subscribe and let's get into it. Background: Verstappen and Norris's ongoing rivalry. Verstappen and Norris have been pushing each other's limits all season, with the pressure building as the championship nears its conclusion. The latest showdown occurred last weekend in Mexico, but we need only look back to the Austin GP the week before to see another heated clash between them. Both drivers are fighting fiercely to rack up points, adding even more intensity to every race. In Mexico, Verstappen and Norris were neck and neck on the track, resulting in a particularly aggressive battle that lasted an entire lap. Verstappen was penalized twice with 10-second penalties after forcing Norris off the track at turn 4 and again at turn 8. These penalties ultimately affected Verstappen's performance and position, pushing him down to finish 6th while Norris landed an impressive 2nd place. The FIA wasted no time in assessing Verstappen's moves, determining his aggressive defense was beyond acceptable racing standards. The impact of Verstappen's penalties on the championship: these penalties didn't just affect the Mexican GP standings, they've sparked a bigger conversation about how races are officiated. The penalties came just 1 week after Norris himself faced a 5-second penalty for an off-track pass in Austin during a similar confrontation with Verstappen. The incidents between them underline the physicality and challenges of close racing but also raise questions about the FIA's consistency in its decisions. Toto Wolff's perspective on the FIA's new enforcement style. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff weighed in on the FIA's decisions and offered some interesting insights. Wolff pointed out that drivers will always push their limits, especially when it comes to rule interpretation. According to Wolff, drivers like Verstappen will always use the rules to their advantage if the opportunity exists. Wolff explained that he believes the FIA's recent calls signal a change in how the sport standards will be enforced moving forward. His perspective suggests that Verstappen's penalties reflect a shift in interpretation that will shape F1's future. "We'll no longer see that," he noted, referring to the aggressive driving style that led to Verstappen's penalties. What's next for F1's racing standards? With the championship battles intensifying, the stakes for drivers and teams have never been higher. The recent enforcement of penalties may signal that the FIA is tightening its rules, potentially impacting all drivers as they adjust to stricter limits on defense tactics. Verstappen, known for his assertive driving style, may have to adapt to this new regulatory tone, as could any driver who relies on pushing boundaries. It's not just Verstappen who will feel the impact, every team and driver may have to reassess their strategies moving forward. If this enforcement style continues, it might lead to more cautious races, with drivers steering clear of high-risk maneuvers to avoid penalties. This shift could redefine the essence of F1 competition, reducing the kind of aggressive on-track showdowns that fans are used to seeing. Final thoughts and what to expect in Brazil. Looking ahead to the upcoming races, including the Brazilian GP, teams and drivers may be entering with a new understanding of the FIA's stance. We'll likely see tighter racing, but with everyone a bit more cautious. Could we be looking at a new era in F1 where high-intensity battles are curbed for compliance? If you're as eager as we are to see how this plays out, make sure you tune in. Race analysis and insights into the world of Formula 1.